Arena in Sacramento. Let's join with the public address for the introduction of the Hertz lineups.
Herb Williams. Number 42 from Indiana, Eric Anderson. And number 44 from North Carolina, Hubert Davis. Now let's meet tonight's starting lineup for the Knicks. At forward, 6'9" from Virginia Union, number 34, Charles Oakley. At forward, 6'10" from Pittsburgh, number 54, Charles Smith. At center, 7 feet from Georgetown, number 33, Patrick Ewing. At guard, 6'6" from Kansas State, number 20, Rolando Blackman. And at guard, 6'2" from Nevada, Las Vegas, number 50, Greg Anthony. The head coach of the Knicks is Pat Riley. His assistants are Dick Harder and Jeff Van Gundy. The trainers are Mike Saunders and Tim Walsh. Now let's meet tonight's starting lineup for your Sacramento Kings. At forward, 6'7" from LaSalle, number 22, the L Train, Lionel Simmons. At forward, 6'9" from Oklahoma, number 23, Waylon Tisdale. At center, 7 feet from Temple, number 31, Wayne Coswell. At guard, 6'5" from Kansas State, number 2, Mitch Richmond. And at guard, 5'7" from North Carolina State, number 4, Spud Webb. The head coach of the Kings is Gary St. Jean. His assistants are Mike Schuler, Dave Wall, and Eddie Jordan, and the trainer is Bill Jones. Tonight's injury report.
And Gary St. Jean telling us earlier that he is concerned that the Knicks might choose this ball game to break out of their recent shooting doldrums, shooting only 41% the last 6 games. Earlier, John talked about that with the most experienced shooter on the Knicks squad, Rolando Blackman, and asked what can the Knicks do to improve their shooting, which has dropped off recently.
I think right now with our basketball team, all we have to do basically is just move our bodies basically on the offensive end and making sure that we move the ball. And I think once we do that and make Chris fast to the open man, that we'll be getting better shots, and also you'll hit a higher percentage of them.
The frustrating part of coaching is you say that over and over again before games and the players go out and don't do it. So somehow that message has to seep through. Marv, this is going to be, on paper, going in a very tough game for the Knicks. This Kings team is better than the Knicks have seen in years.
Yes, the Sacramento Kings with a record of 13-17. They're last in the Pacific, but playing very well recently, and you must consider that the Pacific is a very strong division.
6 of the 7 teams are at 500 or better, and the Kings, who've won 7 of their last 8, are last in the Pacific. Toughest division in the NBA.
Bernie Fryer, Mark Wunderlich, Bill Spooner are the officials. Spud Webb controls the opening tip. This is Lionel Simmons. Wayne Coswell back in the starting lineup. Wayman Tisdale had been going as the starting center. Here's Simmons, and the Kings off to a 2-0 lead. The L Train striking early.
Ewing come over for the shot block, although he didn't quite make it.
Blackman being played by Richmond. Here's Ewing over Coswell. So Patrick Ewing, who has had his problems recently, able to connect on his first attempt.
Coswell has started 26 of their, now 27 of their 31 games. He's in there because of the height of Ewing. They've been fooling around with this man, Tisdale, as the starting center the last 3 games.
Blocking foul charged to Oakley. It is a non-shooting foul, and Mitch Richmond will throw in. Lionel Simmons, played by Charles Smith. Tisdale. Raymond Tisdale giving Sacramento a 4-2 lead.
Tough player. has the jump shot, can drive. Oakley will have to be at his best with Tisdale.
And an offensive foul called. It's on Smith, who was pushing out, looking for position.
Smith only played 22 minutes against the Celtics the other night. However, he was in the fourth quarter, and the Knicks made their big run then. He's vitally important to this team.
Spud Webb with the step. Kings lead 6-2. Spud Webb having an excellent season. Comes off a 16-point game in the Kings' last outing. A victory over Miami on Saturday night. Ewing couldn't handle the pass.
Once again, Oakley, under the basket, gives up a scoring opportunity or an opportunity to draw a foul.
Here's Simmons. Last touch by Mitch Richmond. The Knicks Sunday night at Madison Square Garden lost to the Celtics 100-97. Following a dreary performance over 3 quarters, the Knicks came from 23 points down to move within 1, but fell short. Smith had it blocked. Simmons with the rejection.
Well, he didn't give Simmons any deception on his shot.
Webb with a nice move and gets it off. Simmons open. Oh, the Kings off to the fast start. They lead 8-2.
The Kings are getting their shots without pressure, similar to what they're creating on the Knicks shooters.
Anthony gets the room. So Greg Anthony connects. 8-4 Sacramento. Here's Webb racing all the way down. Finds Richmond. They are on fire.
And they're wide open because of Spud Webb.
Blackman. Yes. So Rolando answers. Sacramento leading 10-6. Richmond, played by Blackman, gets it out to Tisdale. Here's Caldwell. Rebound Tisdale. Rebound Simmons. And it will be Sacramento ball. A very enthusiastic head coach Gary St. Jean, longtime assistant. 4 years at Golden State, 10 years in all as a member of Don Nelson's staff with the Warriors and in Milwaukee, also an assistant with the Nets.
Very likable, Gary St. Jean.
Yes, certainly one of the most popular coaches in the league. Richmond to the reverse. And Ewing with the rebound. The Kings with a 10-6 lead. Here's Blackman. Yes, Rolando Blackman. Able to hit again. That's his second field goal. And the Knicks trail by 2. Very fast pace here at the start. Sloppy passing. Caldwell lost it. Here comes Anthony. Anthony trying to feed off to his left. Smith on the recovery. And the Knicks will regroup.
Anthony getting things together now, distributing the ball nicely.
Back comes Lionel Simmons. Here's Richmond for 3. Through the hands of Ewing, but handled by Blackman. And a blocking foul called on Webb. It is a furious pace here at the start.
Bud Webb still playing with a cast on his hand, which kept him out until early December, and he's come right back into form. He had an excuse to really stay out a while longer, but Gary St. Jean told us he would not stay. He wanted to play.
Now Webb going 1-on-2. Turned Anthony around and beat him down court. Spud Webb with sheer speed with the basketball, giving Sacramento a 12-8 lead.
Well, that gives you an example of how fast he is. The Knicks are proud of Greg Anthony's speed. Shows you what Spud is.
Ewing. Oakley with the hustle, but did not hold on. It'll be Sacramento ball. Last season, The Kings finished last in the Pacific, 29-53. Only Minnesota, Orlando, Dallas, Denver, and Washington had worse records. Got off to the shaky start. At one point, they lost 8 in a row, but since then, they have won 7 of the last 8. Richmond with the step. Mitch Richmond giving Sacramento a 14-8 lead.
This streak also started out with a win over the Boston Celtics here in Sacramento.
Anthony. Well, Greg Anthony has come out and hit 2 out of 3. Kings with a 14-10 lead. Sacramento is 6th in the NBA, averaging just under 109 points per game. And Tisdale hits. You can see the pace that they like to go at. And even though they're averaging 109 points per game, they're only 5th in that department in the Pacific Division.
Tisdale, a major problem for Oakley. He had that shot without any body on him at all. Oakley's going to have a problem as Patrick Ewing finds the touch. Good ball movement by the Knicks.
Kings 16, Knicks 12. Causewell. Wayne Causewell, known for his defensive ability, his shot blocking, not for the offensive end. And it will be Sacramento ball. Timeout is called. 6 minutes remaining in this first quarter.
Electric fence.
The Music Revolution of the 90s will be televised.
2 over New Jersey, 3 in front of Boston, and 4 over Orlando.
It was reported that Dominique Wilkins was coming back tonight, so if that happened, that's a bright spot for them as Spud Webb beats Greg Anthony, and that's been a pattern here in the first quarter.
Kings with an 18-12 lead on the Knicks. 5.5 remaining in the first. Blackman's pass picked off. Causewell gets it down for Richmond. He takes all the way. Good play by Anthony to knock it aside. Recovered by Simmons. Simmons with the spin. Oakley on the rebound, being challenged by Simmons. Smith. Yes. Charles Smith with the wide open shot, and the Kings lead 18-14.
The Knicks have to exercise their reputation of physical play, which is all you read about when you come into towns for the first time. The Kings are moving so fast, however, the Knicks have been unable to do that. They must box out and identify their men at all times.
Simmons. Well, Anthony Mason and John Starks getting set to check in. You wondered about the return of Dominique Wilkins. Well, he did play tonight. Smith. Knicks wanted a foul, nothing called. Dominique with 28 points in that Atlanta victory over Golden State. Here's Webb, he drew the foul. Wilkins 28, Mookie Blaylock at 24. Chris Mullen led Golden State with 26. Mason and Starks come on for Blackman and Oakley. And the Boston victory over Cleveland. X-Man, J.B. McDaniel, and Kevin McHale scored 20. Brad Daugherty had 37 for the Cavaliers in a losing effort. Webb played by Anthony. Gets it down low to Tisdale. Tisdale with the rebound. And Mason gets to it. The Knicks trailing by 4. We come up on 4 minutes left in the first. Ewing rejected by Causewell. So the Kings now lead 21-14. Mitch Richmond from long range.
The Kings are 10-6 here at home, and they're playing with great enthusiasm and support from their crowd. Well, Causewell, normally the starter for this team because of that ability to send shots away, and he did it beautifully. Mitch Richmond at the other end pumps up the long jumper, lights this place up.
Ewing fouled by Causewell. Webb came over to help out. No, they say Webb got him first. So Spud picks up the foul, and Patrick Ewing to the free throw line. Patrick Ewing on the bench for all but 2.5 minutes of the fourth quarter in the game Sunday against Boston. But the Knicks going to the press with a small lineup, played well and got back into the game.
I don't think there's any doubt, Marv, as we surmise coming into this game, this would be a tough one for the Knicks. It's been established early. Right now, the enemy is Spud Webb, who is continuing to break down the Knicks defense and pass the ball or shoot it himself, and Mitch Richmond is hurting the Knicks all over the court.
Now Richmond being guarded by Starks. He backs him in. Oh, he goes in a powerful fashion at John Starks, and there was no call. Ball was knocked out of bounds. Mitch Richmond is very powerfully built at 6'5", 215, and Starks was hit twice by Richmond on that move.
I know Starks was acting a little bit, but he took some shots.
And Starks able to hit, getting down court, beating the Kings to move the Knicks with him 3.
That move of Richmond on Starks reminds me of how Shaquille O'Neal greeted Patrick Ewing a couple of times the other night, banging into him, and no offensive foul was called.
Tisdale, and checked by Mason, stood back. And has not been able to hit against Mason.
He's doing well on him.
Ewing, yes. Well, Patrick Ewing has hit 3 out of 5 from the field. He has 8 points. The Kings now lead by 1. 6 consecutive points by the Knicks. And they'll get it back. But first, a timeout taken by
Knicks Miami Heat game, which was listed at as a 6 p.m. start, will now begin at 7:30 p.m., not 6 o'clock.
The Kings 21 and the Knicks 20 with 2:25 remaining in the first quarter. Starks to the running hook. So the Knicks have taken the lead. Doc Rivers now in the backcourt with John Starks, Patrick Ewing, Charles Smith, and Anthony Mason up front. 8 consecutive points by the Knicks. Simmons was blocked. Foul called on Smith. That is his second, and it is a non-shooting foul. Now Charles Oakley will come on, replacing Charles Smith, who leaves with a field goal for 2.
Boy, that move by Starks showed some acceleration to the basket. It was a pick and roll. By the time Ewing rolled, Starks was already right to the hoop.
One-on-one move by Simmons. It was forced into a bad shot.
Ewing was active as well, swiping at that ball, becoming a defensive, intimidating presence that the Knicks need.
11 on the 24 as Webb looks to throw in. Richmond being played by Starks. They isolate. Richmond to the spin. Oh, what a shot. Ewing came over, but Richmond still able to hit. We said at the start, Mitch Richmond over the years, for the most part with Golden State, has provided many a long day for Knicks defenders, and he's off to the good start. 3-second violation on Oakley.
Tisdale made a terrific play. Ewing was open for the jump shot. Tisdale was in his face before he knew it hit him.
And here is Walt Williams, the rookie from Maryland, along with Kurt Rambis, a familiar face to Pat Riley. And that Pat knows very well, a member of 4 Laker championship teams. Resurfaced here with Sacramento. Richmond took a shot. Foul on Starks. Mitch Richmond to the free throw line.
The great ones in the NBA, when they get the ball, get something out of the move. They throw the foul, they get the shot up or in. This is one of those people. He's so tough. I mean, if you've got to guard Mitch Richmond, you better be full of energy and toughness. Starks is ready to do it, certainly, but the body of Richmond is really awesome for a guy 6'5".
one of the better free throw shooters in the NBA, 85% from the line. He has 11 points. The Kings 25, the Knicks 22 with 1:20 to go in this first quarter. Marv Albert, John Andres from the Arco Arena in Sacramento. 17,000 plus capacity crowd on hand. Patrick Ewing cuts it to a 1-point Sacramento lead. This is the 305th straight sellout. And this the Kings' 8th season in Sacramento, moving from Kansas City. Walt Williams now guarded by Anthony Mason. Webb for three. Spud Webb hits from downtown. The Kings lead 28-24.
Well, I'm seeing a flashback, Marv, to see Ewing guarded by Kurt Rambis. We're going back a ways, and Patrick Ewing is very happy with that matchup right now. He's hit a couple on Kurt.
Kings by 2. Offensive foul and a technical foul called on Spud Webb for his reaction.
Any outburst of this kind of nature by a player will get a technical. That draws the crowd's attention, which is what the officials don't want to see.
Spud called for that offensive foul. John Starks hit the technical, and then Webb hit with the tee off his reaction. Randy Brown has come on, replacing Spud Webb. Randy Brown, second-year man from New Mexico State, a good defensive player, and he is now guarding Doc Rivers.
Part of the Knicks' success over the last several minutes relates to Doc Rivers coming in the game matched up with Spud Webb. Spud stopped being effective with Rivers on him.
That was a good play by Brown. Gets it down to Richmond. Kings lead by 3. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Rivers, Ewing, and that's the end of the first quarter. The Kings 30 and the Knicks 27. In Sacramento, John, the Kings conducted a Pat Riley look-alike contest. Nice try here. Very nice.
He's into it, this guy.
Watch this one now. Very clever. Very nice. Pat Riley look-alike contest. The winner,
there he
that
is.
guy.
He's the closest. First quarter shooting, Marv. What a turnaround for the Knicks. 57%. 12 out of 21, 48% for the Kings.
There's Rivers. And Walt Williams to the rebound. Rivers thought he was fouled. Kings with a 3-point lead. Second quarter getting underway. And Rambis was pushed. Fouled by Ewing. The electronic wizard, Howie Singer, going to the depths of the file to find that Pat Riley look-alike material. Technical foul called on Doc Rivers. Now Doc complaining about what he felt should have been a call against the Kings on that drive at the other end of the court, and he persisted, continued the argument. So he's hit with the tee, and Richmond will shoot the technical.
In that hot shooting first quarter for the Knicks, Patrick Ewing led the way with 5 out of 8 from the field for his 12 points. Also Patrick leading the way with 4 of the team's 8 rebounds. This is the play that Rivers complained about now at the other end. Doc going in for the shot. Felt,
yes, Walt Williams. He felt Walt Williams grab him, and nothing was called. Kings by 4. There's Williams on the spin. And Brown lost it. Starks putting the move on Richmond. John Starks, who played so well against the Celtics on Sunday night, he sparked the Knicks even through those first 3 quarters, which were dismal. He hung in, and he helped the Knicks get back into it. He's off to the good start here.
yes, he's on a good roll. And that quality that he just showed, he could have pulled up with the early body of Richmond in front of him, but he kept going to the basket. He forces plays.
Bad play by Charles Oakley. Off balance, low percentage pass, and he threw it away, and that angered Pat Riley. Now Patrick Ewing sits down. Herb Williams will come on. Ewing with the good start, 5 of 8 from the field, 12 points. Kings lead now by 4 as Wayman Tisdale connects. 6 points for Tisdale. Minute and a half gone by in the second quarter. Starks, yes. John Starks is 4 for 4 from the field. He has 9 points. Knicks trail by 2. Oh, the foul is called on Starks, a pushing foul.
John Starks taking on Rambis with his hands. That was a blatant foul. And he might have intended to do that. He might have had that preordained, that move, to shake up things. Maybe he's had his bell rung a few times, and he just wanted to use a foul. That sends a message.
Remember John Starks getting involved in the Starks with the steal, and he is fouled from behind by Richmond. Last season in the game played here in Sacramento, the Kings beat the Knicks in overtime, and Starks very involved physically. Got involved with Dennis Hobson, as I recall.
Big story here in the Sacramento Bee, however, was about the physical play and the arrival of Anthony Mason as an NBA player of great meaning. But so far, the Kings are feeling the physical play of John Starks.
The physical aspect of this game has just kicked in late first quarter, early second. The Knicks couldn't catch the Kings. They were on the run early. The Knicks would certainly prefer this style of play. Rivers and Starks at the guards. Mason, Oakley, Williams up front, and John Starks continues his hot shooting. He now has 11. He's 5 of 5 from the field, and the game is tied at 33. Simmons slipped, went down. Brown had it poked away by Rivers. Here's Rivers putting the move on Williams, and the foul on Walt Williams, who prevented that shot. Walt Williams, #1 draft pick by the Sacramento Kings out of Maryland, the 7th selection overall. He was actually drafted to become a point guard. He's 6'8", 230 pounds, but he is more suited for the off guard or small forward. He's had some excellent games, including the 40 points against the Philadelphia 76ers. The Kings involved in those back-to-back blowouts. Beat Dallas 139-81, beat Philly 154-98. Worst loss in Sixer franchise history. The largest back-to-back victory margins in the history of the NBA.
Meanwhile, Doc Rivers has given Pat Riley and the Knicks quite a lift. It's been all positive since he came in the game.
Knicks by 2. Williams way off, and it will be Nick Ball. Six straight points by the Knicks. Williams with Herb Williams.
Herb was wide open, but he committed himself to the hook.
Walt Williams. And Rambis with the tip.
No box out, no awareness by the Knicks.
Starks again. Make it 6 for 6. 13 points for John Starks. Knicks lead by 2. 3 minutes gone by. Second quarter. Charles Smith getting set to check back in. Brown for Tisdale. 3-second violation on Sacramento. And a timeout has been taken with 8 minutes, 43 seconds remaining first half. The reaction, it's where he took a slap at you, I believe, John.
No, that was the cameraman, the unfortunate cameraman. But Starks is making up for that bad memory here tonight in the first half.
Starks played by Rambis on a switch, close to the hoop, and his foul.
Boy, is he playing physical. I mean, he just wants action, and he has no problem banging bodies here tonight. Woo.
Walt Williams called for the foul.
Rambis, Richmond, Williams, all victims of John Starks' aggressiveness.
John is 1 for 1 from the line. That is his first miss of the half. 6 for 6 from the field. John coming off the season high of 28 against the Celtics. Here's Mitch Richmond for Randy Brown. And Rod Higgins for Wayman Tisdale. Tisdale leads with 6 points. Rod Higgins signed by the Sacramento Kings as a free agent late November after playing 1 month in Greece. Played the last 6 years with Golden State. Always a valuable guy to have on the club. Nice job defensively. Rejected by Williams. Herb Williams with the block. Rivers protecting the ball. Stark shooting. That's his first field goal miss. And it will be Sacramento ball. Knicks lead by 3 with 8 minutes remaining in the first half.
Well, when Pat Riley went to his bench, he got productivity offensively, but most importantly, defensively. Knicks have deflated the opening run that the Kings presented.
Rambis being played by Williams. Bernie Fryer with the call on Doc Rivers. Rivers holding Mitch Richmond. Now Patrick Ewing checks back in. He replaces Herb Williams.
Well, the Kings opened up with 30 points in the first quarter. They've got 5. With 7:40 to go here in the first half.
Rambis. And it's tipped home. Richmond with the tip. Very dangerous pass by Richmond cross court. He got away with it.
Well, what has to make Pat Riley unhappy is how Richmond got all that room to throw that shot in.
Sacramento with the ball. They are down by 1. Higgins, played by Starks. Richmond for 3. And Charles Smith on the loose ball. Here's Rivers. Strong drive going right at Rambis. Technical foul has been called. Technical foul on Mitch Richmond. That's the 3rd technical called here in the first half. Earlier, Spud Webb was hit with 1. Doc Rivers called. And John Starks converts the tee. The Knicks 41, the Kings 37. Apparently, Mitch Richmond had something to say and was immediately called for the technical.
Yes, he feigned surprise when that was called.
Richmond.
Oh, that's a box out by Starks.
And Starks goes all the way. What a move by John Starks.
Well, he's playing inspirational basketball for the Knicks and his teammates.
Gary St. Jean very upset that Starks went the length of the floor. 22nd timeout is called. Let's go to our studios in New York. Here's Mike Crispino.
Marv in Cleveland, the Celtics moved to 6-0 in 1993 and go over 500 for the first time since opening night. They got 16 off the bench from Sherman Douglas in a 121-115 win over the Cavs.
Thank you, Mike. The Knicks 43, the Kings 37. 6:28 remaining in the first half. Watch this play, a brilliant end-to-end effort by John Starks.
And it starts with the box out by Starks of Richmond. Ewing with the ball. John Starks continues up court, turns it over, doesn't get caught twice actually. I think he palmed that ball, but he went in and took every inch he could get.
Starks 7 of 8 from the field, 3 of 4 from the line, 17 points. Mason with the good hands getting to that loose ball. Starks for Ewing. An assist for Starks. The field goal by Ewing. The Knicks looking very sharp and now lead 45-37.
Well, Gary St. Jean has not gotten size on the court. He's got Rambis out there who's not up to the task of Patrick Ewing. Caldwell getting ready to check in, but the Knicks have taken over the boards.
Walt Williams with the corner touch. The Knicks lead 45 to 39. First field goal for Williams. Ewing drawing the double team. Ewing, Mason, and Smith up front. Rivers and Starks at the guard. Mason posting up. 6 on the shot clock. And back come the Kings. Walt Williams handling the ball quite a bit with this unit on the floor and giving it up. But he's hit his last 2. The Knicks now lead 45-41. Dangerous pass, and Higgins picks it off on the deflection. Richmond banking Rivers. Richmond, that was blocked. Rivers took a shot in the head.
That was Patrick Ewing on the block.
And it will be Sacramento ball. Rolando Blackman checking in. Dwayne Caldwell returning. But a timeout has been called with just under 5 minutes to go, first half.
Dutch boy in the paint, showing the Knicks doing a good job on the boards. The Kings, however, ringing up some very impressive numbers themselves, although the appearances the Knicks are dominating. Same with the front court scoring, equal right now, which is a very deceptive Dutch boy in the paint report, Marv. Very deceptive.
A deceptive Dutch boy report. Here's Higgins. So the Kings now within 2. The Knicks 45, Kings 43. Knicks have led by as many as 8. Sacramento earlier led by as many as 7. 6 straight points for Sacramento. Knicks shooting has been terrific in this first half. Mason, yes, and it counts. He'll go to the line. The Knicks are shooting just under 60%, turning it around from their recent problems.
And Anthony Mason turns Rod Higgins around pretty good inside, just massages him as he drives in and powers his way to the basket. This is the Mason that the Sacramento people read about in today's paper. Very tough inside.
Caldwell is back at center now with Simmons and Tisdale up front. Richmond handling it now, working as the point guard. Here's Tisdale. A quick release by Wayman Tisdale. Knicks lead 47-45. 4 minutes left in this first half. Ewing.
Nice pick and roll, Starks to Ewing.
Patrick Ewing, though, continuing to take the jump shot. He was questioned about it the other day. When I asked whether his knee has been bothering him, perhaps that's the reason he has not been going to the basket. He said no, he feels fine, but he also said he knows that his shooting will come to life. He has shot the ball well here tonight.
I don't think Patrick would also, Marv, admit pain. He wants to be on the court, and that would admit weakness. I just don't think he'd do it, even if he was feeling it.
Starks for 3. Also, he's not going to tell the opposition that, yes, the knees are bothering him. For the second opportunity. Here's Ewing.
Ball movement was outstanding.
Richmond. And back come the Knicks. They have a 4-on-2. Starks has to slow it. Finds the open Blackman. And Caldwell with the rebound. Just under 3 minutes to go in this first half. Very supportive crowd here in Sacramento. They've appreciated the way this club has played as of late. 7 of 8 wins. One stretch they won 6 in a row after dropping 8 straight. Holding foul on the Knicks on Blackman. And the Knicks with their 4th team foul. It is a non-shooting affair. Richmond throws in. Simmons, played by Blackman. Oh, Oh, the steal by Rivers. Finding Starks. What a play by Doc Rivers. And John Starks continues his onslaught. He's the high man with 19.
Well, when Rivers came on the court, the Knicks' fortunes changed, and Pat Riley has stayed with him.
Knicks 49, the Kings 45. We approach 2 minutes to go in this first half. Tisdale gets it back out. Oh, Mason anticipating. Good thought, but he pushed Tisdale as he jumped out looking for the steal. That puts the Knicks over the limit.
Bob, you mentioned the fan support here in Sacramento. I was talking to one of my friends out here today who's...
oh, friend of Sacramento.
Yeah, lives out here. Television executive. We weren't running earlier today.
Anything else you want to tell us about your personal life?
And then he noted how Gary, I asked him how St. was being taken here and what his image was. He said he did a very subtle thing the other day. He said he got on his show and he talked about how it would be really great if the fans would just get a little more supportive of the team. He said they're really terrific here and sell out. But he kind of made a very fleetingly subtle reference to the fans. And he said that ever since then they've been wildly noisy out here and supportive.
Ewing, yes, and it counts. A very tough inside move by Patrick Ewing, who drew the foul.
Well, the Knicks are doing a great job at pushing the ball up court and getting the ball into the right hands. The passing by the Knicks has been excellent tonight, and the movement to the best shooters in opportunistic position has been tremendous.
Foul on Caldwell. Ewing cannot complete the three-point opportunity. Knicks lead 51-47. We're just under 2 minutes to go in the first half.
It's been a 17-point second quarter for the Kings after 30 to open things up.
Simmons putting the move on Blackman is called for the foul. Sacramento shooting only 43%. They got off to the fast start and then slipped back. The Knicks are at 55% on 22 of 48. Lionel Simmons to the free throw line. In his third year out of LaSalle as a rookie, averaged 18 per game. Last year at 17 points per game, but improved his all-around skills, led the Kings in rebounds and steals. Also has become a solid defensive player, as we saw earlier. Lionel Simmons averaging just under 17 this season.
He had 14 out of 15 makes at the foul line in their last game here. And Gary St. Jean mentioned before the game, he's one of the few people in the NBA you'll hear a coach say, we want him to shoot more.
Yes, Lionel Simmons finished his career at LaSalle as the third leading scorer in NCAA history. Here's some pressure, and it worked. It was deflected out. Last touch by Rivers.
Good pressure. 2-on-1 on Rivers made him cough it up.
Simmons played tightly by Blackman, passed up on the shot. Caldwell with the set and the foul. Ewing went for the steal and then got caught and committed the foul.
He went rather softly for the steal. We'll take another look at it. Kind of reached around, but then he had nobody behind him. And Patrick was in position to see who was behind him, but he didn't go hard enough for the steal and got burned.
22nd timeout has been taken by the Knicks. Minute 29 to go, first half, and the game is tied at 51.
Well, thanks to the bench, the Midas bench breakdown is a happy one for the Knicks. John Starks with a sensational first half, 19 points to lead the Knicks in the area of bench support. 25 points in all for the Knicks from the bench. The Kings only 8, led by their rookie Williams.
Wayne Caldwell to the free throw line. Foul by Patrick Ewing, for Ewing his second. Caldwell only a 59% free throw shooter. Looking at a native of Queens, attended Benjamin Cardozo High School. Three-point play by Caldwell. Here's more pressure. This time the Knicks do not have any trouble with it, and Starks try to go all the way again. Soaring for the hoop. He was fouled by Richmond.
Well, if there has to be a choice for a Michael Jordan imitator here in the first half, there's no question who it is. It's John Starks. This guy has been airborne here in the first half. Look at the room he gets. No one in front of him. No one ever in front of him as he goes end to end.
Richmond called for his third, and he will sit down. Walt Williams returns. John Starks has 20 points. Game tied at 52. Knicks by 1. 1:25 remaining in this first half. Williams handling against Rivers. Simmons. Oh, what a pass. And a foul. Caldwell will go to the line again. Blackman called for his third. Blackman trying to help out, and the foul was called.
Simmons did some job leaning in. It looked like he was on his way to an offensive foul, but he powered his way in to get that ball inside to Caldwell. Caldwell's problem lately has been fouls. He hasn't been on the court that much. In their last game against Miami, he only played 11 minutes, had 5 fouls. The prior game against the Lakers, a loss, which snapped their string, he had 4 fouls in 17 minutes. So that's something he's got to improve on in order to stay on the court.
Knicks and the Kings tied at 53 as we come up on 1 minute left in the first half. Ewing looking for position against Caldwell. Caldwell doing a nice job. Mason backing Tisdale, rejected. Caldwell came over and came up with the block.
Well, Tisdale's too strong and big for Mason to do that.
Simmons with the spin, rejected by Smith, and it will be Nick Ball.
Anthony Mason's got to go to a different plan if Tisdale's guarding him down low.
The Knicks and the Kings tied at 53, 30 seconds to go in the half. 10 on the shot clock. Three-second violation. So the ball back to Sacramento with 19 seconds remaining in the half.
Funny to think the Knicks are almost guilty of overpassing on several sequences tonight. But all in all, it's been positive the way they've moved the ball.
Down to 10 seconds. Sacramento holding for the final shot. And a blocking foul on Rivers. So that will send Walt Williams to the free throw line.
Rivers moving his feet well against the taller Williams, who's 6'8". And it looked like Williams put his shoulder into Rivers and drove him to the floor, but the official saw it another way.
There's Randy Brown coming on for Rod Higgins. Brown in there for defensive purposes. Walt Williams, 75% free throw shooter, averaging 14.5 points per game.
Well, if you talk about foul shooting with Williams against Dallas 2 weeks ago tonight, 14 of 14 from the line. Then the next game against Philadelphia, when he had his 40 points, he was 12 out of 14 from the line.
Sacramento by 1. 7 seconds remaining of the half. Down to 3. 2. Rivers for 3. Good first half. And they are on their feet here in Sacramento. The Kings with a 1-point lead on the Knicks at halftime. The High Point men, John Starks 21, Patrick Ewing 16, Mitch Richmond leading. Wow. Oh, it's just, what fun.
See that off the knee and then airborne?
Unbelievable, John. Well, the Knicks shooting 52% in the first half, 22 out of 42. The Kings only 44% shooting, 21 of 48 from the field, and Sacramento with the advantage off the boards.
Wayman Tisdale with a quiet 8 rebounds. Big number for the Knicks in the first half was their assists, led by John Starks, their leading scorer. John with 5 assists. Turnovers, not too bad for both teams, as end-to-end running was the featured part of the first half as opposed to defense. Kings doing a little better in capitalizing on the Knicks' turnovers.
Spud Webb played only 11 minutes in the first half. Picked up a technical foul and did not play after the tee. You can see the reaction to the technical reaction to that call, and then he was hit with the technical and has not played since then.
Spud Webb was doing very well tonight when the game opened. Greg Anthony was matched on him. Shortly thereafter, after that technical, Doc Rivers came in and just had a tremendous first half of play. Doc Rivers playing 16 minutes for the Knicks in the first half. Anthony back in the flow, though, right now.
And Spud is back on the floor as Sacramento goes to pressure right at the start. Anthony and Blackman in the backcourt. Oakley, Smith, and Ewing up front, and a foul called on the Kings. They collapsed on Smith looking for the steal, and Lionel Simmons picks up the foul.
Despite the highlighted play of John Starks and Patrick Ewing in the first half, the Knicks starting forwards did not add much. Charles Oakley in 17 minutes did not take a shot with 2 rebounds. Charles Smith in 15 minutes, 1 field goal and 1 rebound.
Smith bottled up by a double team. Caldwell with the box out. Here's Webb. Wild pass back as he was trapped. Richmond. Anthony setting it up. Opening minute of play in the third quarter. Here's Anthony. Yes. Greg Anthony has hit 3 out of 4. Knicks lead by 1 point.
Well, for Greg to stand there and take a flat-footed jump shot, it's not an opportunity that presents itself often, but Spud Webb at 5'7" offers no obstacle visually for Greg Anthony.
Tisdale. Good play by Ewing coming over to help out, and that altered the shot. It will be Sacramento ball. They have 7 on the shot clock. Richmond and Webb in the backcourt. Caldwell, Tisdale, Simmons on the front line. Out of 5 on the 24. Out of 3. Webb gets it off. Anthony on the run. Putting the move on Simmons. At no angle, but Blackman is able to recapture.
Just terrible judgments by Greg Anthony. He forced the move. He made up his mind to take the shot, and as it turned out, he didn't have the shot.
Now the officials over to the scorer's table. The whistle blown. And apparently they want to check out the play-by-play sheet. They may reset the 24-second clock.
I'd say 17.
How do you know that? Just instincts, John?
Interesting deduction, Marv.
That's what they did. Readjusting to 17 on the 24. Very good. Thank you. I know it's a little late for you, the time difference. Coming up Eastern time on midnight, John. Ewing had it knocked away, and it's gathered in by Tisdale. Caldwell. Good look by Simmons. Kings by 1.
If the hands are active on defense, how does that pass get to Caldwell from such close range?
Ewing with a drop step that is rejected by Caldwell. His third block. Webb stepped out. And a beautiful defensive play by Blackman that caused the turnover. And Webb arguing and was very politely told to move back down court. or else he would have a second technical called on him, which would mean ejection. Smith couldn't get to it. And a blocking foul on Oakley.
Well, that's worth an argument for the Knicks. Spud Webb put that arm out as he went into Oakley, which seemed to signal a foul. Let's take another look at Spud going right into Oakley. I mean, if I'm Charles Oakley, I'm furious. I'm not. And I'm still furious now.
Mildly argued by Charles, who picks up his second. 2.5 gone by, third quarter. Tisdale had it knocked away. Good play by Oakley. It will be Sacramento possession. 18 on the 24.
Well, going back to that shot that was rejected by Ewing moments ago, last time down for the Knicks, it suggests maybe that his leg is bothering him a little bit. He's not going up with the force that we used to see Ewing go up to his shots with.
Simmons. And it will be Nick Ball. The Kings 56 and the Knicks 55. Blackman played on a switch by Carswell. He drew the foul. Second committed by Dwayne Carswell, and Blackman will go to the free throw line for the first time tonight.
Orlando in 12 minutes of the first half, 2 out of 5 from the field, 4 points.
Well, the game is tied at 56. This is the first of 2 meetings between the Knicks and Sacramento. They'll play again in New York in March. Last year they split their 2 games. Kings winning here in overtime late February. Knicks had won the previous 5 against Sacramento. Oakley jumping out to help out. Shot clock at 10. Webb. Well, a little bit too much dribble, but he drew the foul. Some interesting faces on the Sacramento coaching staff. Assisting Gary St. Jean, Mike Schuler, one-time head coach at Portland and the Clippers. He's on the left. Man in the middle is Dave Wohl, former net head coach. Last year color commentator for the Miami Heat, an assistant with Miami. And on the right, fast Eddie Jordan, Rutgers fame. He was an assistant with the Scarlet Knights past 4 years. On the Rutgers team that made it to the 1976 Final Four, played in the NBA with a number of clubs, including the Nets and the Lakers, Cavaliers.
Well, Schuler and St. Jean go back to the Milwaukee Bucks as well, both as assistants. And Gary St. Jean used to work for Dave Wohl, Marv. Shows you how important it is to stay friendly with people. Dave was the head
Keep
coach,
that in mind, John.
head coach of the Nets back in '86 and '87. Gary worked for Dave Wohl.
And Smith was fouled. And Simmons.
Did you envision yourself
as your assistant? Absolutely.
Assistant color man someday, years to come, when the road gets weary and you still want to stay involved.
I want to give a kid a break. Be a consultant.
I'll keep it in mind.
Kings lead by 2. Charles Smith on the line for the first time. Quiet night to this point for Charles. Played only 15 minutes in the first half because of the effectiveness of the Knicks bench. Anthony Mason came on, played well. Game tied at 58. Tisdale usually looks to go glass. Anthony able to recover, showing the quick hands. Here's Smith for Blackman. Nice fake. But a good recovery by Richmond, and then he is fouled by Anthony.
Blackman's not the kind of guy to soar up and jam the ball, so when he was in position under the hoop, he sensed the big people around him, and the Kings did a great job of denying Rolando.
Sacramento Kings 13-17. They've won 7 of their last 8. Knicks have dropped their last 2. They've lost 3 of the last 4. Ewing called for the foul. Ewing looking for the block. And that is number... Let me see. Apparently they call it on Oakley.
Beautiful look inside to Tisdale. Oakley from behind. Wayman Tisdale in 1985. He and Patrick Ewing came out of college together. And they were 1-2 in the draft. Patrick Ewing, of course, number 1, and Tisdale, number 2, coming out of Oklahoma, where he set all kinds of records.
Tisdale spent 3.5 years with Indiana. This is 5th season with Sacramento. Took a while to get going last year, coming back from a foot injury and a pulled hip muscle.
Very popular player wherever he has been. He's one of the smiling faces in the NBA.
Kings by 1, 59-58. 7.5 left, 3rd quarter. Pace of this game has slowed down considerably. Smith, yes, and it counts. And Charles will go to the line. Simmons called for his 3rd foul.
Charles Smith in position once again to be the difference in a ball game. He's a little bigger than Wayman Tisdale, and his size is a problem in all matchup situations because he's not the center. He's a forward. He's 6'10" and tough. And he can be the difference. He can be the difference in the Knicks season in many ways. The Knicks need him to step up in the second half now.
The Knicks lead 61-59. Tisdale. That lip move by Wayman. Oakley set the pick. Smith with the fake. Way off. Oakley with the save. Down wanted to travel. Here's Ewing getting it back out. Anthony. Shot clock runs out.
I've never seen Ewing make a pass like that. He was under the basket in position to shoot, and he pulled the Charles Oakley and delivered it outside.
Kings taking a timeout. 6:47 remaining in the 3rd.
Now, all over
Know when to say when. A reminder from Budweiser. Coming up, Riddick Bowe in the heavyweight boxing championship of the world. Coming home to New York on Saturday, February 6th. Riddick Bowe and Michael Dokes get it together. Tickets now on sale at the Garden Box Office and all Ticketmaster outlets. To charge, call 212-307-7171.
And tonight, fight night at the Paramount. Buddy McGirt winning a unanimous decision. Beautiful move by Spud Webb. And the game is tied at 61. 6:25 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Smith is fouled. He's walloped by Caldwell. That's 3 on Caldwell.
Charles Smith has such offensive enthusiasm now. He got racked really on that foul. No problem for him. He turned around and was greeted by his teammates, pat on the back, go to the line, and hopefully add something to the Knicks now to break this tie.
Charles Smith getting the roll, making it 4 out of 4 from the line. He has 8 points. Knicks lead by 2. It has been close throughout. At one point, Knicks led by as many as 8. Sacramento early in the game led by as many as 7. Carswell up high to set the pick. Pass intended for Carswell. Recovered. But Simmons could not hit. Carswell on the recovery. It's Simmons getting to the loose ball. But the ball was knocked out of bounds, and the Sacramento Kings have been on most of the loose balls here in the third quarter.
Ewing and Oakley originally had the position and ball in their hands, but they got out-hustled in that situation.
Knicks with a 2-point lead, 5:45 left in the third. Ewing over Carswell. And it's rebounded by Tisdale.
What a box out of Oakley by Tisdale.
Well, the Wizard, Walt Williams, getting set to check back in. They collapse on Carswell, gets it out. Webb for three. Anthony tried the head fake, and Richmond nearly picked it off. Having trouble moving the ball here now, but Blackman has an answer for that.
Well, Webb thought Blackman was on his way to a passing situation, and what a surprise Spud Webb got.
Knicks 65, the Kings 61. Shot clock at 6. Down to 3. Down to 1. Oh, what a shot by Webb.
That's the shot of the night.
Here's Anthony with a poor decision. He thought he'd draw the foul. Carswell and the foul. It's called on Smith.
Charles Smith wanted the explanation. The Kings wisely pushing the ball up. Spud Webb strikes again. Charles mystified by that foul call on him. He was beaten so badly, he's wondering how the foul was on him.
Wayne Carswell has been a factor. He'll go to the line. He's 2 of 3 from the free throw line. Kings take a 1-point lead. 3-point play for Carswell.
What's interesting, Marv, is that Pat Riley has elected to go with Rolando all this way with Starks, who I just see now getting up, having had such a first half.
Ewing with 18 points, and the Knicks lead by 1. As John Starks had an electrifying first half, 21 points, 8 of 10 from the field. He is about to re-enter. Off the turnover. Anthony fires cross court to Blackman. Offensive foul. It is a charge on Blackman. Now substitutions. Anthony Mason, John Starks check in, replacing Rolando Blackman and Charles Smith. Well, apparently the Knicks now will go with Ewing, Mason, and Oakley. Blackman headed back onto the court. He wasn't certain whether he had been lifted, but now he's back on the bench. And the backcourt of Starks and Anthony. Oakley with a good play. Nice pass from Starks. Anthony hits, and he's fouled. What a move by Greg Anthony on the reverse. Beautiful pass from Starks, who picks up his 6th assist.
I don't know how Anthony does it, going up on the right side and shooting with the left hand. Another look at it. What a beauty. John Starks, the bounce pass, catchable. Very athletic, acrobatic move by Greg Anthony.
And he completes the 3-point play. The Knicks lead 70-66. 3:15 remaining third quarter.
All initiated by a fine play by Oakley.
Now Anthony providing problems for Webb. Spud able to spin around Greg Anthony, but could not finish it off. It will be Sacramento ball. Doc Rivers getting set to check back in. First, a timeout taken by the Knicks. Just under 3 minutes to go in the third.
I'm never too concerned that they're unhappy about what we say. If you're going to make that kind of money and play for the teams in New York and you don't produce.
Your heating system, like your body at its peak efficiency, uses less energy.
It's the big people, Marv, as you've noticed through the years. But tonight we talk about the guards. The point guard, Spud Webb, with a spectacular driving hook shot. Kissed that rim and went through. The other end, Greg Anthony had a beauty moments ago also.
Kings down by 4 as we resume. Tisdale, rebound Rambis, who just came on. But his pass picked off by Starks. Starks eluding Richmond. What a shot by Starks. Richmond did not want to pick up his 4th. So John Starks continues to kill the Kings.
Richmond made it very difficult for Starks. John had another answer.
Knicks lead by 6. Richmond posting up. Ewing over to help. 3 on the shot clock. Here's Williams. 24-second violation.
That was an amazing, aggressive defensive follow-up by the Knicks big man without committing a foul on Williams.
And Coach Gary St. Jean screaming for a foul call against the Knicks on that Walt Williams drive. Double overtime. Utah knocks off Miami.
Well, they got Anthony Mason backing Rod Higgins in, and an offensive foul was called on Mason, and Pat Riley had an outburst of disagreement. Normally Mason has been successful with that move without a foul being called on him.
And that double overtime win by Utah. Karl Malone had 30. Glenn Rice 31. Harold Miner at 27 points. Here's Richmond. Knicks with a 6-point lead as this third quarter winds down. Minute and a half to go. Here's Mason. So the Knicks have matched their biggest lead a good stretch. They lead by 8.
Pat Riley has gone back to the combination that brought the Knicks so much success in the first half. Doc Rivers back in the scene now with Mason and Starks.
Outside official Bernie Pryor with the call. And a technical foul has been called. Oakley called for the personal. And he's called for the technical. That is the 4th technical of the game. Called 2 on each club.
Charles Oakley coming outside, having the foul called, which Charles disagreed with. He seemed to give a lot in that defense as well. He was not being very aggressive, and still a foul was called against him. You know, Marv, this officiating staff, led by the veteran Bernie Pryor, is not one of the more experienced group that people around the NBA are that familiar with seeing, but they are all over this game. They are not allowing much. They're really calling a very tightly controlled game.
They set the tone early. Technicals called on Webb and Richmond of Sacramento. Rivers of the Knicks, and now Oakley. Knicks lead at 74-68. Now 5-point Knick lead. Down to 1 minute remaining third quarter. Rivers off the turn, bottled up, recovered by Mason. It counts, and the foul.
What a break. What a break. Rivers loses the ball, and it goes into the ironclad hands of Anthony Mason. Rivers on the drive, forcing the action inside, loses it. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Mason, sure hands, and the finish.
Lots of chatter once again between Anthony Mason and Rod Higgins, and the officials very quick to step in. They thought something might erupt. They had some words earlier. Knicks lead by 7. Richmond putting moves on Starks. Trying to improvise, not a good shot. Richmond Tied up. Oh, what a play by the Knicks. They have tightened the defense. They forced Sacramento a moment ago into a 24-second violation. They've made some excellent defensive plays, and another one right here.
Oh, they cover for each other so well. This is a good demonstration of their team play tonight.
They will jump it up. It'll be Richmond.
I think we're in enemy territory now.
Yes. Lively group behind us. Ewing and Richmond. And let's see what the call is here. Last touch by Starks. It'll be Sacramento ball. Crowd saying what's happening 38, and that's the official Bill Spooner wearing number 38. Very impersonal, isn't it? Richmond from deep.
Nice harassing by Starks, forcing that rush shot by Richmond.
15 seconds to go in the third. Knicks with the ball and a 7-point lead. Ewing. Rebound Mason. Strip. And it will go to Sacramento with 1 2/10 seconds to go. Rambis for Webb. And Rivers tried to draw a charge, but no call made. Webb thought that it should have been a block on Rivers, but it will be no call. That's the end of the third. Knicks lead by 7. Wait a moment, another technical foul has been called. Looked to be on Anthony Mason. So that is technical number 5 for the game. 3 on the Knicks and 2 on Sacramento. So another technical called on the Knicks. We'll be back.
Catch, excuse me, the Beatables Express from February 12th through the 14th. Knicks would like you to take a road trip to Chicago to take on the Chicago Bulls, and the package includes round-trip airfare, deluxe hotel, game tickets, Chicago Stadium, tough ticket, and more. Call 1-800-288-7908, extension 44 for more details. Action on the court, lots of technicals tonight. Charles Oakley giving ground, yet the foul was called on Charles, and he was very unhappy. Can you read lips, Marv? Charles got his way into a technical foul. John Starks got in the act. Charles cooled down, and they went at it a little bit. Charles expressing himself to Starks, who will not call a technical on him.
And Charles Oakley now sitting down. Mitch Richmond just hit the technical foul called on Anthony Mason right at the end of the third quarter. Look at the Kings, 4 of 20 from the field in the third. Higgins for 3. Rod Higgins, over the years, has had the good touch from three-point land. The Knicks now lead 76-73 as this fourth quarter gets going.
Knicks have limited the Kings through quarter 2 and 3 to a total of 40 points after the Kings opened up with 30 in the first quarter.
Shot clock at 3. Ewing is picked up by Webb for that jump shot. Tisdale with the rebound. Webb and Richmond in the backcourt. Higgins, Tisdale, and Carswell up front.
Crowd is ready to burst if the Kings score right now.
Richmond. He's been off after the good start. Rivers to the rebound. Gets it down to Mason, and he's fouled. Anthony Mason was hacked, and he will go to the line. Foul committed by Rod Higgins.
To Doc Rivers, that feels so good to explode up the court and have a teammate in front of you like Mason who can take the ball to the basket. That's exactly what happens. Mason sails in to draw the foul.
Mason has missed his first 2 free throw attempts.
Knicks are certainly backing up the stories in the New York papers today about this 4-game road trip and the importance of the start here in Sacramento and the thinking that this team has. The Knicks want 4 wins on this trip, and they're starting out with a great effort here. What a terrific game.
Richmond for 3. Well, consecutive 3-pointers, Higgins, and now Richmond. So the Knicks lead is down to 2. Minute and a half gone by. In the 4th, here's Rivers. And Webb moves back. Webb pitches out to Richmond. And we're back to the pace that we saw right at the start. End-to-end action. Starks and Rivers at the guards. Smith, Mason, and Ewing up front. Ewing with the top step. That's his best move of the night.
Oh, that's his best move of many nights. What a great move. Where has that been, Patrick? The Knicks want more of that move. Beautifully done.
20 for Ewing on 9 of 19. And a foul is called. It's a hold on Rivers.
So what Pat Riley's objecting to, that call was made with the official with his back to the play. And it didn't appear that the hand was on the Kings player at all. Rivers reaching in, the call made on Ewing, however.
'76. Knicks by 4. Tisdale, it counts. And the foul. Charles Smith called for his 4th.
Tisdale isn't spectacular. He's just tough. And he knows where that basket is. And he always protects the ball with his body.
Tisdale with 13 points, along with 12 rebounds. Here's Lionel Simmons. Wayne Causwell will sit down. Causwell played well, 9 points, 9 rebounds. Done the job in the shot blocking department. The Knicks lead is 1. They've led by as many as 8. Smith getting position, firing it up.
Well, the Kings have gone small now. Tisdale at 6'9" is their big man.
Here's Webb. Herb Williams just checked in for Patrick Ewing. Getting to that rebound. Starks way off, but it's Mason on the follow.
Position. Oh, Mason had it. Now he and Smith and Herb Williams. I mean, that's a lot of height for the Kings to deal with now.
The Knicks 82. The Kings 79. Tisdale facing up on Williams. Draws the foul. It counts. Wayman Tisdale in the face of his one-time teammate with the Indiana Pacers, Herb Williams. Got hacked, and he'll go to the line.
Well, if you're Herb Williams, you wonder where the foul was.
Tisdale can tie the game. The Knicks and Sacramento tied at 82. 8:40 remaining in the 4th. Rivers. Back comes Richmond. Richmond shooting. And Smith with the rebound. Lofts it down. Williams changed his mind. Crowd wanted to travel. And a foul call.
It's a very tightly called game.
Wayman Tisdale collecting his first. Herb Williams will go to the line. Patrick Ewing over at the scorer's table, and he will come out eventually for Herb Williams.
Herb Williams has been to the line 4 times this season. 3 out of 4 for Herb.
The Knicks 84, Sacramento Kings 82. Marv Albert, John Andres from Arco Arena, Sacramento. Capacity crowd here, 17,000 plus. 305th consecutive shutout for the Kings. Off the steal, Starks for Mason, trying to return it, deflected out. It will be Nick Ball. Now Ewing being waved on, and he replaces Herb Williams.
Gary St. Jean does not have adequate size to deal with this Knicks front line now.
All is going for the smaller, quicker club. Mason being played by Higgins. And back comes Webb. Oh, he's stripped by Rivers. What a play, stealing the dribble. And then he feeds Starks. Doc Rivers with the steal and the assist.
He did a Mark Price once again, only this time he gave it up to Starks. Reaching around the little guy and getting it done without the foul. That's so tough.
The Knicks 86, the Kings 82, 7:20 to go in the fourth. Simmons played well by Smith. Here's Simmons, met by Ewing, and he drew the foul. It's on Ewing.
By Simmons continuing to move to the basket. Even though he was guarded so well, he had virtually no shot, a decent shot rather, but he continued the motion to the hoop. He demanded contact.
3 fouls on Patrick Ewing. Lionel Simmons to the line. He's an 80% free throw shooter. Simmons has not shot well tonight, only 2 of 12 from the field. The Knicks lead 86-84. The Knicks come in at 19 and 12. They've lost their last 2. They've dropped 3 of the last 4. They've certainly improved the shooting tonight. Ewing stripped, and back come the Kings.
That was Tisdale on a beauty as Ewing presented it to him.
Richmond backing Starks. Higgins hit the 3. That's his second three-pointer of the night, and the Kings lead by 1.
How can the Knicks establish their dominance with their size? That's their challenge now with Smith and Ewing.
And it's Simmons on the rebound.
Boy, this is David against Goliath.
Again, they isolate Richmond with Starks. Shot clock at 1, and it's a 24-second violation for the second time against Sacramento. Kings take a timeout. 5:50.
Technology and MCS service. One is a great reason to buy the other. And the Knicks defensive play led by Doc Rivers was a fine example of teamwork. Doc coming up court, looking left, looking right, finally sensing Starks coming into his left, and John finished it off. The AT&T long distance shooting numbers for the night. The Kings superior by far, 5 out of 10. The Knicks have yet to make one.
2 apiece for Richmond and Higgins. Kings by 1. 5:45 remaining in the game. Shot clock at 5. They double up on Mason. And back comes Sacramento as Simmons was able to get to it.
The Kings are denying the Knicks time and again now. Each time down court, Knicks are unable to get a good shot.
It's Richmond with 21 points, only 7 of 20 after the good start. Rivers with a terrific play once again. Starks for Smith, who's clobbered by Richmond. And that on Mitch Richmond is number 4.
What a spectacular play by Rivers. Going after this loose ball and flipping it perfectly to John Starks, who finds Charles Smith.
Doc Rivers did the job in the second quarter when he came on for Greg Anthony, and once again, with some timely defensive work, couple of steals, has played extremely well. Smith 6 of 7 from the foul line. He has 10 points, and he's tied the game at 87.
The feeling would be that Spud Webb has too much speed for Doc Rivers. It hasn't happened that way tonight at all.
Here's Richmond trying to scoop.
I mean, this offense is clear out and go to Richmond. That's been it.
Starks for 3. And Ewing was fouled.
Finally, an offensive rebound for the Knicks here against this much shorter front line.
Simmons called for the foul, his 4th.
At the other end, Starks and Richmond going at it. Starks trying to get in front of him, beat him to position, make it tough on him, not give him any space, not foul him. Help comes over from Ewing, and that denied Richmond.
Foul on Simmons, non-shooting foul. 4.5 remaining in the game. Tied at 87. They double up on Mason. Down to 10 on the 24. Here's Rivers. Yes, good look from Ewing.
You know, Marv, Ewing hasn't taken the shot he's gone to exclusively the last several games. Offensive rebound strong for the Knicks now. He hasn't taken that running one-hander from right to left once tonight.
Knicks with a 2-point lead. Again, Richmond, but he throws it out. Simmons ties it at 89.
If you're one pass away from a jump shooter, you can't leave him wide open like that.
Knicks and the Kings tied at 89. Starks for 3. Yes. John Starks from downtown, and the Knicks lead by 3. Starks has 25. Rivers on the move. And now regroups. Smith trying to get it back, but sloppy exchange, and it turns it right back to Sacramento. .312 remaining in the 4th. Webb. And here's Higgins. Ewing with the rebound.
No second shots for the Kings.
And a timeout taken by the Knicks. 2:52 left. 8:30 on MSG2. Game time at 9 as the road trip continues.
John Starks giving the Knicks their first three-point shot of the night. Nice exchange with Mason, and John has answered the call once again in the second half after a dynamite first half.
And he has equaled his season high that he established Sunday against Boston with 28. Starks, good play by Webb, knocking it away. But the Knicks maintain possession. They have 10 on the 24. 2:45 remaining in the game. Smith, Mason, and Ewing up front. Rivers and Starks in the backcourt. This has been the Knicks' most effective unit. Shot clock at 2. Rivers. Yes. Big bucket by Doc Rivers, who has come up with some key plays, and he's given the Knicks a 5-point lead.
Knicks facing a little size out there with Causwell back in now. That jump shot helped loosen things up.
Richmond and Sacramento has cooled off considerably. Richmond is now 7 for 23.
One more two-point play by the Knicks now could really do it. In my opinion.
Richmond with a save. the steal by Smith. The pass intended for Tisdale, who was posting up.
Elation has to overcome Pat Riley when he sees a big man make a play like that away from the basket.
Down to a minute and a half remaining, fourth quarter. Shot clock at 5. And John Starks is now 12 of 16. He's extended to a 97-89 lead with his second three-pointer.
Hot team, and they have come to play, and John Starks has lifted the Knicks almost on his back on the offensive end. John's second three-point shot in a row, and second of the Knicks' effort here tonight.
Starks with 31 points. The Knicks bench contributing 51 points. And Starks able to take the charge.
And John has erased the horrible memory he had of last year's game that ended in such disappointing fashion for the Knicks.
Knicks have reeled off the last 8 points. Richmond called for the foul. Coming into tonight, the Knicks have dropped 3 of the last 4 on the road, looking to make it 6 up and 9 down away from home. Doc Rivers to the line with Sacramento over the limit. And Mitch Richmond, who just fouled out, hearing it from the crowd, although he was 7 for 23 from the field. Did not shoot well down the stretch. Minute 17 remaining in this fourth quarter. And the Knicks with a comfortable 97-89 lead. Game 1 of a 4-game, 5-day Western swing that continues tomorrow night in Denver, Friday at Dallas, Saturday in Houston. Knicks back home next Monday afternoon, facing Charles Barkley and the Phoenix Suns. That's Monday, the 18th, 1 o'clock game. Timeout taken by Sacramento. We'll be back in a moment.
Young Walt Williams has not had a major impact in this game, but our Old Spice leaders show you the impact he's had in this NBA season thus far. The rookie scoring leaders, led by Shaquille O'Neal, also include the Kings' number 7 draft pick, Walt Williams.
Very impressive rookie crop this season. 10-point Knick lead. Higgins for Williams for 3. So three-pointer by a man you just discussed, Walt Williams. 99-92. Knicks lead by 7. Pressure by Sacramento. Knicks able to get it down, and a foul called on Webb. Kings are over the foul limit, so Anthony Mason to the line. He's 2 for 4 from the foul line. 10 points, 8 rebounds for Mason. 5 out of the game, John Starks with a magnificent performance. 31 points on 12 out of 16. Patrick Ewing with 20 points, 11 rebounds. 10 points apiece for Charles Smith, Anthony Mason, Doc Rivers. And the timeout taken by Gary St. Jean of the Kings. Knicks lead 100-92 with 1:04 to go. We'll be back after these words.
In my business, my hair has to look great. And even one flake of dandruff, even one.
Welcome back to Arco Arena in Sacramento. Minute 4 remaining in this fourth quarter. And the Knicks lead 100-92, and this arena has emptied out.
John Starks' second three-point shot sent many people to their cars. Not the subway.
Good point. And the foul is called. If you look for the subway here, John, They'll have to look very hard.
Or a bus. Or a tram.
King shooting 31% in the second half. That triggered by the 4 for 20 in the third quarter, which hurt them. They dropped to a 7-point deficit after 3.
Well, the fans here in Sacramento got to look at the Knicks' league-leading defense, which was featured in today's preliminary expectations. But what they didn't see is the shooting that the Knicks brought tonight. They saw a much better shooting effort by the New York Knicks than they have been presenting to their opponents of late.
Pressure by the Kings, and Smith gets it across. They should be in no hurry to shoot. Foul is given. It looked like Doc Rivers took a shot in the shoulder. It was all right, though. He called he injured that shoulder a couple of weeks ago in Milwaukee. Simmons called for the foul, so Rivers back to the line. He's 4 for 4 from the line. 49 seconds remaining. Knicks lead 101-93. And a timeout, 20-second timeout, taken by the Kings. And that is their final timeout. 49 and 9/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Knicks lead by 8. This program is authorized by Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated, solely for the entertainment of our audience. And any publication, rebroadcast, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this event without the express written consent of Madison Square Garden Productions Incorporated is prohibited. And we are coming up on 1 a.m. in the East. I speak for you, John. We appreciate those who have hung in, stayed with us. Good ball game. Knicks breaking it open down the stretch. Good defensive work. Another steal right there by Rivers. And the foul given by Higgins.
Knicks have really risen and taken control of this game in closing moments. To think it was 89 all at one point. 12-4 for the Knicks ever since then. And a great way to give this week a start here out west for the New York Knickerbockers. Very focused tonight. They did not have any down spells. Kings were much tougher earlier, but the Knicks hung in and seemed to respond very well, Marv, to the pace that the Kings set. I mean, they got the Knicks into a running, up-tempo game.
That last steal by Doc Rivers, his 7th of the game. Oh, Webb was rejected, and Williams got off the three-point attempt. Mason fouled by Williams with 29 seconds remaining.
Well, Doc Rivers continues to put pressure on the point guard position with this excellent game tonight as we look at the Kings' disappointed bench. It appears, however, Pat Riley will stick with Greg Anthony, who has done a nice job.
So, Greg joined the action here tonight.
Everybody loves a win, even if you're sitting on the bench.
The last couple of minutes have taken a half hour to play as Mary St. Jean has been trying to stop the clock. Many timeouts called. Three-point attempt missed by Webb. Down to 20 seconds remaining. And the Knicks spread the court. They lead by 10. Foul on Webb. Once again, Starks to the line. He's 6 of 8 from the line. Well, Pat Riley will enjoy the trip to Denver tomorrow night. We'll be on the air starting at 8:30 with game night on MSG2. And the game will start at 9. Suddenly, John Starks has lost the touch at the free throw line. He has 33 points, season high for Starks. Knicks lead by 11. 10 seconds remaining. Webb for 3. And here's Simmons. run out. The New York Knicks with a solid effort. They've defeated the Sacramento Kings 104-93. And the Knicks stop the losing streak at 2. They go to 20-12, while the Kings, who had won 7 of the last 8, now with a record of 13-18. For the Knicks, their 6th victory on the road. They're now 6-9 away from home. We'll be back with the recap right after these words. Tomorrow night will be on hand starting at 8:30 with Knicks game night on MSG2. We'll be back to talk with John Starks in a moment. In the first of 2 meetings this season between the Knicks and the Sacramento, Knicks with a 104-93 victory. The Knicks were sparked by John Starks. Career high 33 points for Starks. 12 for 16 from the field, 7 of 10 from the line. Also 6 assists in the game. John, our star of the game, and he's with John Andres.
Thank you, Marv. John Starks. I was just telling John about his career high, 12 out of 16, and the first question was, but my foul shooting wasn't good. John, 7 out of 10 isn't too bad. 5 assists also, I might add. You seem to be in rare form tonight. Tell us how you felt out there.
Man, I felt real good. Coming into the game, I knew it was a big game for us, and I knew I had to step up and play big for us this game. I was kidding with Mitch before the game about last year, and he got the best of me last year, and I said this year I'm going to come back and prove that we can come in here and beat them.
John, speaking of last year, we showed our viewers earlier.
First with the Knicks, John Starks, 33 points, as you know. Patrick Ewing had 20, 12 for Anthony Mason. Doc Rivers, who had an outstanding all-around night, 11 points, 7 steals, and Charles Smith with 10. For Sacramento, Mitch Richmond did not shoot well, had 21 points. He was 7 of 22, the official count. 7 for 22 from the field, 17 for Tisdale, Webb 16, 10 apiece for Simmons and Higgins. The Knicks are now 2.5 over the second place New Jersey Nets. They remain 3.5 in front of Boston and 4.5 now over Orlando. Again, Knicks lead by 10.
It intercepted, going to shoot, he oh, big hit on Foley. Amonte to the net, and it's poked away. Amonte scores. Burkhardt moves in all alone. He scores. Great shoots, but saved by Richter. That's the end of the intercept, and the quick shot, he scores.
The Rangers homestand continues against the Washington Capitals after Sports Desk and Game Night Wednesday at 7 here on MSG Network.
The only thing we know so far is that Bobby Bonilla is proven to be a liar.
You may not agree with everything he says, but MSG Sports Desk's Bob Page doesn't mind.
I think you are jealous.
Of your money, yes.
I make more money
Of your
than
looks,
you.
no. New York sports fans need someone who's not afraid to stir things up.
These morons.
Someone who'll ask the questions you'd like to ask.
But that can be documented. 20,000 women?
Bob Page and MSG Sports Desk for the real New York sports fans.
The Bud Dunk of the Game is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, the only beer with a taste as genuine as the people who drink it. Nothing beats a Bud.
Our Bud Dunk of the game.
One of the Knicks' fast breaks tonight. Mason pushing that ball up court. John Starks unselfishly giving it up. He sends the big man, Patrick Ewing, in there for the Bud Dunk of the game.
Once again, our final score, the Knicks 104, the Sacramento Kings 93. So the Knicks go to a record of 20-12. Hope you're with us tomorrow night from Denver as the Knicks take on the Nuggets on MSG2, starting with Knicks game night at 8:30. Marv Albert, John Andres saying so long from Sacramento. Coming up next, racing from the Meadowlands, and we'll be joining in progress.